Welcome to the IT3 Introduction to Google Workspace training. Throughout this training, we will go over basic and advanced tricks and tips. Let's get started with Google Drive. Google Drive is a cloud-based file storage service that allows you to manage, organize, edit, and share files online instead of having the files take up space in your computer. Documents saved in Google Drive are stored in the cloud and can be accessed from any computer, tablet, or mobile device. To access Google Drive or any other Google Workspace applications, you will select your waffle after signing in. Then we're going to select Drive. This is where we can view, manage, and organize our files and folders. At the top of the screen, you'll see Files with a check mark, or you can select Folders. This will help you navigate between all of your folders and your individual files. If you have a folder that you do not need, click on the three dots and you can move to Trash. After a folder or item has been moved to trash, it will be deleted forever after 30 days and will not be able to be recovered. After putting something in trash, you can navigate to Trash, click on the three dots, and restore it to have it back in your drive. To go back to our main screen, we'll click Home. On the left-hand menu of our Google Drive, you will see Home, Activity, Workspaces. Activity will show you documents that have been shared with you or comments have been sent to you. Workspaces is a great place to move files or documents on projects you're currently working on, such as maybe event planning or working on a location or school-wide budget or event. My Drive will hold all the files and folders for you and that you have created. You can organize your files and folders by modified, who has shared the documents or folders with you, or by type, such as docs, sheets, slides, forms, and so on. I like to have mine organized by last modified. You can also adjust the color of your folders by clicking on the three dots, Organize, and then you can select your new color. Three dots, Organize, new color. If you prefer to have your drive in a list view, you can select the list layout from the right-hand side. Your shared drives are drives that are created by other team members or yourself, where multiple people can add documentation. This is a great way to share files and documents that a team might be working on or will continue to use. You can also select the little arrow next to your drive or your shared drive instead of clicking on the individual drives themselves. To create a new shared drive, once you're in shared drive, select New. We're now going to name our new drive. We're going to call this End of the Year Docs. We'll now see that on the left-hand side and that the only person in here is me. In this shared drive, we are going to add documents that our school or location might need for the end of the year. We can change the theme. And now let's view those settings. We do not want to allow people from outside JSPS to access the file, so we're going to uncheck that. And we also don't want anyone who is not in our shared drive to be able to access these files. So we're going to uncheck this one as well. We want to allow anyone that has access to our shared drive to be able to comment, download, and print the file. We're going to hit done, and now we're going to select manage members. This is going to add people to our group. When you add people to your shared drive, you need to select what type of access they will have. Are they a manager, such as they will be able to access everything in the shared drive and make edits? Or do you just want them to be able to add, edit, move, delete, and share documents? This means that I am the manager of this shared drive, but the people I'm inviting can add documents needed. This is a great way for teams to add documents that they may need to use throughout the year, such as budgets, POs, and other quotes. We're going to hit send, and they will now be invited to add documents to our drive. You can also view documents based on if they were shared with you. These are documents that someone else has created, but they have given you access to. Let's walk through creating a folder. Folders allow for you to be able to find your documents and files a little easier. To create a new folder, you can select New and then New Folder. We're going to name this Open House. This is where we store all of our documents, files, and POs for an upcoming open house. I'm going to adjust the color so that it's easily accessible to me. And now to double click to open the folder. You can drag and drop files, or you can right click and select File Upload. Right click, File Upload. I'm going to select Desktop. I'm going to select Assignments, and I can select which assignment I'd like to upload. You can also upload full folders by right-clicking, Folder Upload, Desktop, select the folder you'd like to upload, and then select Upload. We can see on the bottom right-hand corner all the files that are being uploaded. We now have that folder from my desktop in the drive. This is a subfolder. A subfolder is a folder housed inside of another. Our 2022 assignments folder is in our open house folder. Therefore, the 2022 assignments is a subfolder. To create another one, while we are in our folder, which is open house, we can right click, new folder. To help us stay organized with this event, we can have our assignments that we'll be giving to other people and our purchase orders for the open house. By right-clicking on the down arrow, we can select to share or download the folder. When we select share, we will have the option of how we would like to share this folder. I'm going to share this with my team and my supervisor so that they have access to the folder to make adjustments. I'm going to select them and then editor. You can select for them to receive an email or not. If I need someone to only be able to view the documents but not make any changes, I'm going to select commenter so they can make comments on the documents and the planning. Or viewer, they can only view every document and things in the folders, but they cannot comment or make any edits. I will hit send. We can now see the little people icon and that this has been shared. If I need to remove someone's access, I will select the down arrow next to editor and remove access. If I leave my position, I would transfer ownership so that the team still has access to the folders and files in the drive. Google Drive has the ability to convert various files into Google Docs. We can do this by navigating to our Google Drive, uploading our files or folders. For now, I'm going to upload a folder. Once you have selected your folder, select Upload. We're going to upload and look at all the documents that are coming. As the files are uploaded into our Google Drive, you will see that they are uploaded into the exact file format that they are originally created in, such as PDF or Word. We can convert any file into a Google Doc. Select the three dots, Open With, and Google Docs. That document will now be moved to a Google Doc. To completely convert it, we will now select File and Save as Google Docs. We're going to close our previous one. You will now see that your document is a Google Doc. And is still in the exact same folder. You can also convert PDFs. Keep in mind that sometimes the conversions from one document to another are not completely clear. We can convert a PDF here. As you can see, this PDF converted perfectly fine. There were no changes. And that document is also in our drive. Now let's try to convert this PDF. Now this PDF did not convert the way that we had hoped. As you can see, the pictures are no longer there. That is something to keep in mind when you're converting files. You can also convert a Google Doc back into a Word document or PDF. Just open up your Google Doc, select File, Download, and you can select PDF or Word doc. The File Explorer will open, and then you will see that your Google Doc is now being converted into a Word doc once we hit Save. And that's how you can convert files using Google Drive. Now let's move into creating and utilizing Google Docs. Your documents are stored in your Google Drive, and your Google Drive is associated with your Google account. You can access your Google Docs and any other Workspace applications on any device when you log into Google with your email and password. To start a new Google Doc, you can select the blank document or select from the template gallery. The template gallery will show you already created Google Docs that you can simply put your information into. Your recently opened Google Docs will be listed under Recent Documents in Google Docs. We are going to edit an already created Google Doc. Meeting notes and agendas provide great documentation and records of the meeting that your team had, while also providing a clear and focused agenda and outline of what will be discussed during the meeting. Notes and agendas also keep the meeting organized while being courteous of everyone's time. Here are the meeting notes from our meeting. Before sending it out to my team, the first thing I'm going to do is create a title by clicking on Untitled Document. We're going to call this Meeting Notes and then the date. Now that we've created our title, let's make our notes look a little bit more appealing. We're going to highlight the title of our meeting notes and we are going to select Apply Title. Adding a style to your Google Docs helps add a visual appeal to your document. By highlighting, we can make changes just to that line or row of text. We're going to add our subtitle. Now I want to add a drawing to my Google Doc. We're going to select Insert, Drawing, New. We're going to click on Line because I just want to have a line under my title. And then we're going to save and close. And there it is. There is that line from my title. You can adjust it, you can move it, you can edit, and go back and change the line again. As we continue to update and edit our meeting notes, we can select multiple headings by highlighting and holding down the Control key. Then we can add the same formatting to those headings. We're going to apply heading 1 for these and continue on. Highlight, highlight, and we are going to make that our second heading. Highlight, highlight, heading 1. You can highlight full sections of your document and add a bulleted list. For our action items, we are going to make that a numbered list. You can continue highlighting different sections, and you can also change the size of the font. Highlight the section and change the font size. You can also use the paint format option. We've highlighted this notes section, and we are now going to click on Paint Format and highlight another section. The second highlighted section is going to have the exact same formatting as the previous section. And again, highlight a section, paint format, then highlight another section. Now that we've gone over bullets, changing the font, updating the styles, format painter, and sizing. If you also have sections of your meeting notes that you really want to stand out, such as next week agenda, we can bold and underline. If you have a more casual document or notes, you can also add emojis. Select Insert, scroll down to Emoji, and select the emoji that you'd like to add to your document. Google Docs also has many tools that can help enhance your document, such as using the dictionary or define tool. You can highlight a word, right-click, define, and you will see the definition of the word and synonyms if you would like to find a different word. When collaborating with the team, you may also want to link other documents and sites in your Google Docs. You can do this by simply highlighting, insert link, and then pasting that link and selecting apply. Adding a link is a good way to add a presentation to your action items or in your meeting notes. You can now see that our presentation from Canva has been added to our Google Doc. Anyone that has access to our Google Doc can click on the link and now view our Canva presentation. Now that we've completed formatting our meeting notes, before we share them out, let's add some building blocks. Building blocks allows you to add drop-downs and organize other products within your Google Doc. You can access the building block by selecting Insert, Building Block. Here you can insert other meeting notes, an email draft, or even a calendar invite. You can access the same building blocks by entering an @ symbol, or you can also reference or link calendar events so that your team knows exactly which meeting this refers to. Let's do that now. To link a meeting or calendar event, hit the @ symbol and then scroll down to that calendar event. This does have to be events that are in the future. Now this meeting is associated with the notes here. This is also only for meetings and events that are in Google Calendar. Google Calendar events can be linked directly into Google Docs. Google Docs also allows you to digitally share your document with other people. Only people you share your document with can see it. You can share your document by selecting Share. You can type in the name of the email or simply type in their name. You can add a message or you can select to not notify them. If you have a wide group of people that you would like to send your document to, you can simply copy the link. You can copy this link and share it in an email or a chat messaging system such as Google Chat. To manage how people see your document, set the permissions. Select whether you want them to be able to view the document where they can read it but not make any changes or comments. Select to commenter so that they can comment on your document but not directly edit it. If you would like someone to be able to make changes to the agenda and insert meeting notes during the actual meeting, you will want to give them the permission to edit. Comments in Google Docs allows you to leave reminders for yourself, add items you would like someone to notice and respond to when they look at your document. Comments stand out from text of the document. They are easy to see without having to read the entire document. To start, we're going to highlight a text where we would like to add a comment. We're going to highlight our agenda and then select comment. We're now going to post our comment. Here you can also select to delete your comment if you no longer need it and get a direct link to the comment, or you can edit it. You can also tag individuals on that comment directly. This will send them an email to pay attention or to view your comment. To view all comments, you will simply just click on Open Comment History up at the top, and you will see all the comments from that document. You can see if the comment's been resolved or reply to the original commenter. Now let's walk through how to use building blocks to create meeting notes from an event in our calendar. We're going to select a day on our calendar. Now that we've created our event, our team meeting, we've selected our date, our time, our attendees that we will join by Google Meet, and we've also attached a lesson plan to this meeting. You can add a description over what your meeting is about to let your team know what to expect. You can create meeting notes for the event directly in your invite. We're going to wait on that for now. So now that we've created the event, we're going to hit save, and we can now see that new event on our calendar. Let's create meeting notes for that upcoming meeting. We can create new meeting notes directly through the calendar event by clicking on Meeting Notes. As you can see, when you do this, this document will be shared with all of your guests, even people outside your organization. So if you're not ready for your team or your guests to have access to the notes just yet, we can create meeting notes in Google Docs prior to the team meeting and send them out later. Let's open a blank doc now. When creating a new Google Doc, you can navigate to the waffle and select Docs, or in the address bar, simply type docs.new and hit enter. This will automatically open a brand new Google Doc for you. As you can see at the top, these are our building blocks. Building blocks is a built-in template to help you track projects, document meeting notes, or create new emails. Building blocks is only available in Google Docs. You can access building blocks by selecting Insert and maneuvering down to Building Blocks. This is where we can see our meeting notes, email draft, calendar event, and other building blocks. But for a new document, you will see them up at the top. We're going to select Meeting Notes. After selecting Meeting Notes, you will see some of the future events from your Google Calendar. I would like to create meeting notes for the team meeting event that I've created for tomorrow. After selecting that, we will see the name of the event, the date, the attendees of the meeting, any documents that I've attached, which is my lesson plan, and we can now begin taking notes for this meeting. It automatically generates to have action items. We can enter action items that we create during our meeting. You can create them as a list that can be checked off. To do so, you will simply highlight, just hit the checklist option. First action item is for Ms. Smith to plan a field trip. Once Ms. Smith completes that, she can check it and we will see that it is crossed out. You can add action items during the meeting as needed. Every time you hit enter, a new checkbox will be available. If you do not want to have the checklist, you can select for it to be a bulleted list or listed in a numbered order. Once everyone has access to the meeting notes, they will simply select and check off their action item. Google Docs has implemented many different building blocks to help with efficiency. After clicking on Insert Building Blocks, we will see all of them listed here. We can create a new calendar event. So if you would like to add maybe your follow-up meeting to your current meeting notes, you can do that here. You can also use this to help plan an event, such as the starting point of planning a field trip for your school. You can select the day and the time, and then the place. Google will allow you to just begin typing in the name, and you can find options near you. So we now have the starting points of planning a field trip to the Atlanta Zoo on February 1st. This will create a calendar event, and you can even preview it in your calendar. When working in Google Docs, it's important that your document is visually appealing. Some ways you can do that is by adjusting the alignment. I'm going to highlight the title and then head up to the toolbar, click on Align, and center align. You can also adjust the formatting by clicking on Format and Align. I'm going to highlight the entire document, and I'm going to head up to Format, Line and Paragraph, and adjust the spacing. Then back to Format, Line and Paragraph spacing, and I want to add a space after every paragraph. This is going to space the document out a little bit more so that it's a bit more visually appealing. If you need to insert a picture or an image, you would select Insert, Image. You can search from the web, upload from your computer, or your Google Drive. I'm going to search the web, hit Enter, find the one I want, select it, hit Insert. I'm now going to resize this image by clicking on it, making it smaller, and then wrap text so that the text falls around the image. Let's move into some of Google Docs' other features. Working in a shared document or collaborating on a project together, you may need to view the activity history. You can do this by clicking on the clock, and you can see the changes or edits that have been made. As we can see from one version to another, that the table has dramatically changed. By clicking on this little triangle, we can see who made what changes. The student in orange deleted an entire row. That must have been a mistake, and we can restore that. We can also see what edits everyone made. Like I, myself, the teacher, made edits in teal. So I've added a file or document for those students. We can see that the student in purple tagged another student, added a Google slide. As we hover over each color change, we can see who did what exactly. If you need to restore to a previous version, you will click on that, three dots, restore. Or you can make a copy for yourself if needed. I'm going to restore. We can now see that our table has all the columns and rows that it needed to have. In Google Docs, you will also need to share or limit access for the document from time to time. The owner is the person that created the document. An editor is someone that can edit at any point in time. Commenters can only comment, and a viewer can only view the document. If you wish to no longer be the owner of a document, you can transfer ownership. Or if you no longer want them to have access, you will remove the access. If you want it open for anyone to access, change the general access along with what sort of access you'd like them to have by selecting the role, viewer, commenter, or editor, and then copy the link. If you would like to send a Google Doc to multiple people to have them complete or fill out the document without collaborating with others, you may want to send a forced copy link to avoid having people ask you for permission and so that your copy stays as the original. This is perfect for lesson plans, instructions, or for the self-reflection. To create a forced copy link, we're going to go up to the URL. We're going to backspace and remove the edit and type in copy. After adding the word copy to the end of the URL, we're going to highlight the full address, right-click, and copy. After hitting enter, we will now see what that looks like. Now anyone that we send this copy link to will have to force copy the self-reflection in their Google Drive. This is perfect to send in an email. So we are now going to send this in an email. I'm going to add my statement. I'm going to highlight the word this form, right click, link for address. I'm going to paste in that URL with copy at the end and hit OK. Now the Google Doc is ready to be sent out, and everyone who opens it will have to force a copy into their drive. Now let's begin our introduction to Google Slides. To access Google Slides, you can select your waffle and Slides. Whether you're a student, a professional, an educator, Google Slides offers a powerful platform for creating dynamic presentations that captivate your audience. We will walk through some of the Google Slide basics and how to create your first presentation. Once you open Google Slides, you will see the option to view a template gallery or to create your own by selecting Blank Presentation. If you would like to see other presentations or slides that have been shared with you, you can select this drop down. You can do owned by anyone, owned by me, not owned by me. So not owned by me are presentations that have been shared with me, but I am not the owner. Owned by me is all Google Slides that I have created. Owned by everyone is the combination of the two. Let's get started with a blank presentation. Now that we're on a slide editing page, we have the option to add text, images, shapes, and even other videos into our slides. When you want to add a new slide, there's a plus sign here, and this will add a new slide. And if you would like to view different layouts for those slides, select the down arrow and then which layout you prefer. I'm going to create a Google slide presentation for our weekly team meeting. I'm going to call this Team Meeting Agenda. Notice how it's already saved in my drive. I like to remove these text boxes and create my own. So I'm going to remove this one and this one. Now, let's apply a background color so that we don't have this plain white screen. You can choose an image, maybe a school logo, or you can just select a color and then hit done. After you select your background, you can also select it again to add a theme. This will make all of your other slides have the same theme as your current slide. Now all the slides are the same background color. Now let's insert some text and an image. I'm going to select text box. I'm now going to draw my text box and type in team meeting agenda. And I want to change that font, so I'm going to highlight those words. Next to some fonts, you can see the ability to make them bold or a thin outline. I'm going to select a semi-bold. And now I'm going to change the font size. And just like in Docs, I'm going to go to Align, Center, and have that in the middle of my text box. I now want to change the color of the font. You can select any color you want, or you can create your own color by selecting the plus for a custom color. You can drag and drop the circle to create whatever color you'd like and hit OK. Now let's add some images. We're going to select Insert Image. I'm going to search the web. You also have the ability to insert GIFs and stickers. Now I want to insert a logo that I have saved on my computer to my presentation. I'm going to select Insert Image, Upload from Computer, and scroll down until I find the image that I'm looking for. After clicking on the image, I now have my logo. I'm going to resize it and then move it to the corner. We're going to add another text box. So I've now added a small detail about the meeting. I'm going to add this under here. And as you see the red line pop, this will show us that our new text box is aligned to be centered with our previous text box. I'm now going to adjust this one to be a little smaller as I don't need it to be as long as it is. And then I will adjust again. And now it's centered. I'm going to highlight, center a line. Let's draw a line. After drawing the line, I'm going to change the line color to white. And next to it, we can add or adjust the thickness of the line. Let's add some images. Images, search the web. I want to find a cartoon of a generic looking calendar. And select the one I want, insert. Now we have this calendar. We can resize it, spin it, and then we're going to check out the options. Drop shadow adds a little shadow behind each picture to make it look like it pops. You can also find images from other slides and online and simply copy and paste them. After you find an image you want, just select inside of your slide, right click, and paste. As you continue to work on your slide, you may want to see what it looks like in presentation mode. To do that, at the top right corner, hit Slideshow. We can now see what this will look like when we present it. If you need to layer your images, as you put one over top the other, right-click, select Order, and then you can move an image all the way to the back, or simply just backwards one if you have multiple layers. Now the pencil is behind the calendar. If we want it back in the front, bring to front. If we still feel like our slide is not popping, we can make adjustments to our background. Background, I'm going to select the color. This time, I'm going to select a gradient. I still like this orange, so I'm going to make some adjustments. I'm going to select the color, gradient, and then we can select where we want the gradient view to come from. Center, bottom left, bottom right. So now we can see how the gradient color falls. Hit OK, and we've added a little bit more. Now let's move into creating more slides for our team meeting agenda. I would like to add a blank slide. I'm going to right click, delete this slide, and I'm going to change the background to the next one. Notice how I did not select add to theme, as we do not want to adjust the theme, just create one white slide. Now let's add a text box. Select the text, create the box. We are going to use this slide to go over the full meeting agenda. Now let's create a shape to go behind the word agenda. We'll select the shape that we want, make this shape as large as we need. If you do not want your shape to have a border, select the pen and then select transparent. If you would like for it to have a border color, you can select the color that you need. I'm going to fill the shape by selecting the Fill button and then select the color that I want. Now let's adjust it by right-clicking, Order, and Send to Back. I'm now going to create a list of what we're going over in this meeting. I've created another text box and I've now have all of that here. I'll add some images to make everything pop and bring some color. This is a great page to use to help keep things simple, but to prepare your team for what to expect. I now want to add a border. I'm going to do Shapes, Rectangle. Throughout my presentation, I'm going to select for Fill, Transparent, Border. I'm going to select the orange, and I'm now going to select the weight. So that I can continue to move things on my slide, I'm going to right-click, Order, Move to Back. So now my outline will be at the back of my slide, and I can still move other things around. To move through our slides, we'll want to ensure that we keep with similar themes. Each slide, I'm going to bring up a different part of our meeting or agenda. As next, I will prepare my team to know that we are going to have a group discussion. If you want to keep with similar fonts, you can select your font by highlighting, Format Paint, head to the slide, and then click. As you can see, this is very large, so we're going to need to adjust our text boxes. If you want to have a presentation or a video, you can select Insert a Video, and you can search YouTube or your Drive. You can paste a URL or search YouTube directly, hit Enter, select your video, Insert, and we now have that here. You can also add a drop shadow. These features in Google Slides allows you to create an eye-catching presentation along with utilizing collaboration and helping to share and bring out ideas. Here we have created a roadmap using shapes and lines. Just as in Docs, you can select Share and you can add sharing rules for different people. For this teacher, they're going to be able to edit, and I'm going to hit Send. If I want someone to only to be able to comment, again, I will just make them a commenter. As my team has regular meetings, I will create and move slides. The next time we have a group discussion, I can just right-click, select Duplicate Slide. By selecting Duplicate, make minor adjustments to the slide, but then right-click, skip slide so it's no longer in the presentation. This way, I still have my meeting agenda and what will happen without removing old slides, but they will not be seen in the presentation. Just as in Docs, you can adjust formatting by adding bullets, adding spaces before and after the end of the paragraph, and by adjusting the spacing between lines. Whenever you're done with your slide, and maybe you need to start a new presentation, you can select Slides Home and begin a blank presentation. You can also adjust the page setup in Slides to create more of a newsletter or a one-pager-like document by selecting File, Page Setup, and let's select Custom. To make this the size of a normal letter, we're going to make it 8.5 and then 11 inches and hit Apply. Now our slide is the size of a normal page. I'm going to select Blank and begin to create a school newsletter. First the background. Done. I'm going to add some shapes. This is where I'm going to have my news header along with my news information. Make sure the boxes are lined up. If you have a shape you don't like, you can select on the shape, right-click, and select Change Shape. We're now going to add a title and fill in our text boxes. Creating a first text. This time I want to align this to the right side. Now I'll add my graphics. Again, you can copy and paste from the web, another slide, or import them from searching through Google. I already have my graphics picked out. Again, as we layer graphics, right-click, order, send backwards. Now using the tools that we just learned with creating shapes, text boxes, layering, format painter, and inserting images, I was able to create a classroom newsletter for my location. Each week I will highlight upcoming events, after-school activities, reminders for everyone, along with some news or accomplishments happening. So now I want to share this. We can share Google Slides in multiple ways by selecting Share, anyone with a link in that they can view, copy the link. We can also publish this by selecting File, Share, and Publish to the web. Publish to the web allows us to give access to our Google slide to a group of people instead of individually. After selecting Publish to the web, hit the drop-down for Publish Content and Settings. You should always restrict to Jefferson County Public Schools for documents or slides that need to be seen by the school only. If it needs to go to parents, you must remove the check. But for in-house or internal documents, always select Restrict Access to the following: JCPS. Hit Publish. It will ask if we're okay and we want to publish. We now have a URL of our published document. You'll copy your URL, open a new tab, and then paste the URL into the address bar. After hitting enter, you will now see the article that you just created in a published view. You can share this in a chat or an email link, just as we had previously with our Google Doc. You can view this video and other JCPS Google resources at jcps.me/TLC and selecting Google for Education. You can also search our videos on our Digital Learning channel by clicking on Digital Learning channel or JCPS Quick Links Digital Learning channel.